Hello, and welcome to this special episode of the Unauthorized History of the Pacific War podcast. My name is Seth Perriton, historian and deputy director of the Mississippi Armed Forces Museum here at Camp Shelby. And with me in spirit is my co-host, retired Navy Captain Bill Tody, former skipper of the fast attack submarine USS Indianapolis, Commodore of submarine squadrons here at Pearl Harbor, and many other postings. Bill is obviously not here with me today because I'm just here to introduce this special video that I made a few weeks back. My son and I we traveled up to Wilmington, North Carolina to go aboard USS North Carolina BB-55, the Showboat. And I took my GoPro with me. And when I did, I recorded uh, my son and I's journey through this incredibly magnificent American naval vessel. She is in incredibly beautiful shape, as you will see. And I highly recommend a stop to her at any point in time if you're anywhere near the area. And if you're not, do what I did and go out of your way to go see it because you will not be disappointed, I assure you. So, word of advisement here: I am not a cameraman. I am not a videographer. I've done a little bit of it in my past, but I haven't done it in a very, very long time, and it shows. I took my GoPro along with me, so the video quality is pretty good, but the camera operator left a lot to be desired. That being said, um, this little virtual tour of the ship, I hope you do enjoy it. I'm going to narrate what you're looking at here and there. I'll leave some of the natural audio there. You'll hear my son and I conversing back and forth. So, whatever it is, what it is. It's a father and son on a trip. But all told, I do hope you enjoy this little virtual tour of USS North Carolina BB-55. I enjoyed the tour immensely, and it's definitely worth your time. And to Gene and all the other volunteers there at the Showboat, thank you very much for your hospitality and for being just totally cool and taking incredibly good care of this old gal. It definitely it warms this historian's heart to see people who love her so much take such good care of her. So that being said, I hope you do enjoy this little video, and if you get the chance, go see the real thing. Okay, yeah. So you'll see she's in this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous camouflage scheme. It's measure 32, I believe it is what this is. It's, the 3218D actually is what it is. It's the early pattern, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but either way, it's absolutely beautiful. It's striking when you see her painted up like this because you don't see too many World War II naval vessels painted like this. They're usually painted just the old-fashioned battleship gray. And then when you walk aboard, they have her Liberty clock, Liberty post here, which I think is really cool. I've never seen anything like this before on any World War II naval vessel or any naval vessel period. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Butt back aboard, sailor. We are on the stern.
Now here we are. We're standing on the stern of the vessel. Obviously, this is her aircraft crane standing here. You're looking at that, and the two of the aftermost 40 millimeter Bofors mounts here. Again, she's in excellent shape. She's absolutely gorgeous. You're going to hear me say this a lot, and I'm sound like a broken record, but
Here's our OS2U.
and this is one of her only Kingfisher that's aboard right now. It's OS2U Kingfisher. This was the primary float plane, scout plane that North Carolina carried. Actually, I think it's the only one she carried during the entire war. And yeah, this is the very same type of plane. We told the story in one of our episodes about Lieutenant J.G. Burns, who flew off of the battleship North Carolina. This is the exact type of airplane that he flew when he rescued those aviators, naval aviators, off a Truck Island, and then had to be rescued himself by the USS Tang. As I have said before, I am a gun guy, and the Bofors are about as bad as they come. Nice. And you see my son, he's raising and lowering the 40 millimeter gun mounts. On a lot of naval vessels, museum ships, some of the guns can move, but most of them can't. And this one, most of them can. Again, just shows the care that they put into this thing. This is my son and I entering turret number one, I believe, the 16-inch gun turret. We're moving inside the turret. Everything is beautifully painted. Everything is pristine. It's very clean for the inside of a turret. I've been on other battleships, quite a few of them, and they don't look this good.
How does that look? Up there.
See if we can get in there.
Scope.
Can we see? Not really. You can see with the naked eye, though.
See all the buildings?
They had the boom. I'm sorry, I said turret one. We're in turret three, obviously.
Max, you okay?
Yeah, I can read up,
All right, come on in, buddy.
but it is.
Two.
Shoot him out. That's great. All right. Yeah, probably. Turn this.
I'm about to get out here.
What I thought was really impressive aboard this ship, as opposed to other museum ships I've been on, is that, most of the stuff worked. Things were lit up like they were supposed to be. The dials could move and everything moved and worked like it was supposed to. I thought that was really incredibly cool. Gotta love the paint scheme on this bad boy. Oh, sorry.
SK2 radars there.
The baddest anti-aircraft gun in the world right there, my man. 5-inch 38s. Yeah, we'll do a better exploration of the top side in a little bit after this weather rolls out. There she is. Check out her scoreboard.
This one's one ship.
Yeah. Somewhat you don't understand is most large surface vessels in the United States Navy in World War II did not sink ships. They shot down planes. The exception is Washington. Right here, we're standing in the spot where she took that torpedo in 1942 during the Guadalcanal campaign. really couldn't get closer to the turret. They were doing some work, and I would have loved to have been able to get a better shot of that, because they actually at one point had the Japanese submarine crew invited to one of the battleship's reunions, which I thought was really cool. Okay, big gun nerd moment here. If anybody watches this show, you know full well that I am a gun guy. I say it unabashedly, with pride every time I get the opportunity to do so. And when my son and I were walking up the starboard side of the ship, we rounded up the forwardmost 16-inch gun turret, and I saw what I thought was, and then when I got closer to it, realized it indeed was a 1.1 anti-aircraft gun. Of course, these are the guns that were on U.S. Navy ships prior to the installation of 40 millimeter Bofors. This is what would have been on just before Pearl Harbor, during Pearl Harbor, after Pearl Harbor, and through most of the Guadalcanal campaign. As I was telling my son, the only time I ever saw one of these things before this was at the bottom of the ocean, when I was working with RV Petrol and saw the shots of these things still mounted to the sunken ships. I just totally nerded out over this thing.
1.1.
All right, so important gun nerd moment right here. The only 1.1 I've ever seen, aside from the ones on the bottom of the Pacific during work with Petrol. These are the only 1.1s I've ever seen. You can see why the 40 millimeters were a significant upgrade. Very cool. All right, here we are below decks. Warm up in here, Jackson. Here we are below decks. As soon as we came below deck, second deck, they're working on the chapel right here, which is cool. It's cool that they're working on it, and by that I mean they're taking incredibly good care of the ship. If any of the volunteers of the Showboat, whom I met several earlier, were very gracious and very kind, or if they're watching this, y'all are doing a hell of a job. Here's where we serve our chow. Here we are inside. This is in the stern of the ship. This is the galley. It's laid out a bit different than any other ships I've been on, which is cool because it's so early. It's such an early designed ship. Vegetable locker. Six to 10 junior crew members, usually seamen, worked in these spaces for 3 months at a time and received an extra $5 a month in pay for this duty. I bet they did. That sucked. Work was done in the afternoons and evenings on the next day's meals. Vegetables brought up from reefers and stored here. Hand chopping, dicing, and slicing was done here. The electric vegetable slicer sitting on the table had a variety of attachments. And for making French fries. Love this kind of stuff. Here, let's go this way. Hey. Drinking fountains are called scuttlebutts. Scuttlebutt is Navy slang for gossip or rumors. So it's exchange of gossip. There's a scuttlebutt and elsewhere, I'm sure. So it's a gear table. trays, boys. Scullery. This is where they washed all the dishes. I just find it utterly fascinating to see life aboard ship. You know, you look at these little displays in these compartments and you see the bunks and the equipment laying around and the chairs and all this other stuff and, you know, the lamps and everything on the desks. And I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, I thought that was just utterly fascinating. So I lingered here for a while. So nerd alert, I bought one of these chairs from my home office. God almighty, they're expensive. But you know what? Why not? Ship store. What do you want, Mac? Important thing, writing letters home and receiving letters from home. You got some gloves, you got some ink, soap, dot kits, watch straps, shoe polish, playing cards, cribbage board, shoe shine, shoe polish, all kinds of good stuff. Towels, uniforms, shoelaces, whisk brooms, down ducks, flat hats, shaving mirrors. Love it. What we got over here? The Gedunk stand. Again, you know, typical of World War II U.S. Navy ships. The Gedunk stand is just chock full of all these really cool looking little, you know, as we call them in the museum world, set design pieces. You know, with you know, the hot fudge canisters and the, you know, fake oranges in the back and all this other stuff. Again, I just think it's great, and it gives people an idea of what the ship really looked like during the war. And when these sailors and Marines were aboard, this is everyday life. You know, it's a glimpse into the past. We are in the butcher shop. Meat. Let's go this way. Leave it to me, we went the wrong way around through the tour, but such as it is. There you go, partner. Just some dirt. Mashed potatoes, dressing, asparagus, peas, salad, chow. It's really cool that they open up the whole galley like this. Not a ton to see, but it's still cool just to be able to walk through it. Again, this thing is in fantastic condition. Here. This is the garbage grinder. Oh no. Heavy sand, clean the inside, outside of the potato off. You can dump that out. Oh yeah, take the eyes out of the potato. post office. Truly a city at sea. Another ship store. Here's the ship's barbershop, which I desperately need to visit. Here we are in the after steering room. What you doing, sailor? Come on, almost Eagle Scout. Let's go. That's a lot of equipment right here, buddy. All to drive the rudders. Plural. Go ahead, man. Oh, cool. Check this out. Oh, there's something on the side of this thing. Here we are. We came up out of the after steering compartment. Here's the lucky bag. Of course, lost and found. We're not talking about the Naval Academy's yearbook. And here is the print shop and a dark room. Of course, the ship had her own newspaper, like most ships did, but especially big ships like this. And this is the printing shop where that newspaper, which was called the Tar Heel, was printed and distributed aboard the ship. Told guys what was happening in the war, told guys what was happening aboard, what was coming up, what had just happened, that kind of stuff. Vital portion of shipboard life. Stewards mates that come and get the officers' clothing here, from here, and bring it to them. Goodness gracious. And you know it was hot back in here, buddy. All these steam presses, good God. And you would melt back in here. I'd be working on my drawers too. Laundry receiving room. Every article will clearly mark the owner's name. All this is in the stern of the Showboat, and all this is in the after compartments. You definitely the amount of laundry you and your sister produce. Good God. That's not the washing machine, that's the dryer. That's the washing machine. Cobbler shop. Remember when I told you when I was in high school we used to have to wear Navy uniforms? Like the black shoes? Those are the same shoes we used to wear. Buy one pair in August and suckers would last you until your feet blew out the ends of them. Those things were indestructible. Absolutely indestructible. New Orleans Catholic High School. All boys. Perfect. Table shop. Do not press on the acrylic. Roger that. Now that's a refrigerator. This had to be the best place to work. Crack open that hatch a little bit. Yes, sir. Get you some cold air. Indeed. Do not press on the acrylic. Low bridge. Damn, imagine you have food up in here. God damn. Each room had a signal bell that rang in the ice machine room. Still works. I'm a coffee drinker, and you know, again, if anybody's watched our show, you know this. And aboard every large scale naval vessel I've ever been on. I just find it hysterical that they have these massive vats of coffee that were distributed, you know, brewed every day, all night for all the sailors and Marines aboard the ship. And I was hunting these down because I just had to see them. I think it's awesome that you can pour coffee out by the spigot at the bottom of the container. Provisions room, still in the after portion of the ship. Canned veggies, tomatoes, all kinds of good stuff. Still in chow hall. Projector room. You want to watch a movie?
Where?
Right here.
Oh.
Movies every night in the mess halls. Start the movie in the starboard mess hall #1, and as the real finish, they'd run it over on the port side. It was hot, crowded, and smoky, but it was something to help pass the evenings. Screen is at the opposite end of the compartment. Yeah, it would roll down right there. And then, of course, you got the hooks for the hammocks. Sailor beware, holiday hair. Holiday hair don't care. A little hot in here. Ah, yes. Say, Mac, you got a light? Nothing. Where's the hot seat? I don't see the red hot seat. The guys with the VD. Please do not enter. But I want to. tool issue. Machine shop. Oh. Don't touch that. Don't touch that.
What's that?
I don't know, but it's got oil all over it. Like your dad, who's a dumbass. It says oil, and then I put my hand on it and I'm surprised that there's oil. Yeah, I'm gonna brag on my son for a minute. This is a history show, but I'm a dad and I'm a proud dad of a soon-to-be Eagle Scout. My son has always been interested in this kind of stuff ever since he was a little boy, and I'm sure it doesn't hurt that his dad dragged him all over, up to Baton Rouge to go aboard the USS Kidd and the Mobile to go aboard the Alabama and the Drum, and any opportunity we get to go aboard a U.S. Navy museum ship, we do so. And with great pride, my son's walking around the battleship North Carolina wearing a T-shirt emblazoned with the image of a pre-modernized USS Arizona on it with her cage masts and everything. And I just think that's ridiculously cool of my kid. Couldn't be prouder of that young man. Here we go. Let's try not to bust the ass. Ammunition hoist is going to be 5 inches, I would imagine. For the 5-inch 38s. Yeah, it is. What we got here? Can't tell what that is.
2 dozen other factors were entered into the computers as well. These included the projectile's weight, the amount and temperature of the powder, the wear on the rifle barrel, and the air density. The computers corrected for rotation of the Earth, the curvature of the Earth, Coriolis effect, and the difference in lines of sight for the various guns and the various observation points.
And of course, here we are now in plot. And of course, plot is where this is what the battleship was designed to do, is to throw these 16-inch gun, these 2,700-pound armor-piercing shells out to hit enemy targets. And this is where all that action happened, right in here. And yeah, I couldn't help but think of Admiral Willis Lee. Of course, he wasn't in plot during that battleship fight against Hiroshima, but all those orders sprung from, they were executed here when they were sprung from Willis Lee's mouth to the people who were operating in here, flinging those 16-inch shells at Hiroshima that night off Guadalcanal.
Main battery plot, obviously.
We're in North Carolina, USS North Carolina. But as anybody who watches our show knows, BB-56 is my favorite ship, and it's her sister ship of this very vessel. So when she was whipping that ass in November off the shores of Guadalcanal, all that action was done in a compartment exactly like this. Hey man, hang on. Hang on, Sully. That's bad going right there. I want to walk through there and then come back and take a couple pictures because it's just freaking cool. This is where it happens here, brother. Secondary battery. Cool, this is the 5-inchers. Good God, look at all the fuses and buses here. Good Lord. Yeah, secondary battery directors. Forward secondary battery. Hold on a minute, I want to go back around. All right, here we're still in plot. Trying to show y'all some of the electrical equipment here. Damage control. Central Station. Conning Tower Bridge, Central Station, Lookout Tab, Catapult. Look at all the extra fuses. Steering selector master switch. Pretty cool. Radio Central Supervisor. Radio Central. So, Brooke, this is where he would have been. My grandfather was a Sparks. He was radioing in the Navy, World War II. Right up in here. Here we are, turret 2. Dude, check it. Oh yeah. Let's go. So one of the aspects of this ship that I found to be utterly fascinating is that we could go inside of the barbettes. And aboard Alabama, you can also go inside the barbettes, but you can't go all the way physically down to the very, very bottom. You can't walk around it. You can just kind of poke your head in there and look, but you can't get down in there. Well, aboard North Carolina, you can. And I just thought that was uber cool. And again, gun guy dorking out to the, or as John and I always say, nerding out. And I was nerding out. Powder bags that come, yep, that's where the powder bags have come from. Come to. What do you think? Pretty dang cool if you ask me. We're still in turret 2. Well, we're not in the turret. I guess we're in the barbette, I guess, actually. More appropriate. Powder bags. Ooh, powder magazine. Here we are still in powder room. Powder magazine, sorry, powder room. That's where you powder your nose. I guess this would be where you powder your nose for the Japanese. All these, oh, look at that. 1938, 1944, 1938, 1945, 1940. Look at all the dates on the powder cans. There There we are, still down below in the turret. All the cans, the powder cans, have dates, so we can see is 38, 40, 43, 44, and 45. More of them. Smoking lamp is out, Jack. Of course, being a capital ship, battleship, USS North Carolina, she had a force of Marines aboard. You know, aircraft carriers did the same, and some cruisers did too. Actually, all cruisers did during the war. So the Marines, you know, more often than not, when they were aboard, especially the battleships, they were gunners. So they were going to man either the 40s or the 20s, and it's no different here. You know, it's exactly what they did. Well trained in gunnery, the Marines did that very thing, helping to defend the ship. Stewards mates. Officer dining. In this galley, cooks and the steward's branch prepared meals for the 122 to 144 officers. Large mess is above us on main deck. Tenders have multiple courses and have to begin with soup. Display below features clam chowder. Where? I don't see no clams. Lunches were lighter, meals not included salads. Displayed. Oh, okay. Displayed below shows ingredients for a Waldorf salad. Officers paid for their food. No supplies from the war. So that structure kept the record paid and not count to the ship. Medical stores. This is where the wife would have been. Dentist office. X-rays. So here we are at sick bay. Obviously the operating table. Scrub room. Surgical room in the back there.
Sterilizer.
Ready? The laboratory. Dispensary. go this way in the pantry. Just as it is. One officer pantry. You're fine. So this is what it looked like during the war, and this is what it looks like now. Officer stateroom, freaking huge, man. Dude's got a double bed. This is a supply officer. That's what it is. It doesn't look. What you got? Medical officer. Sure enough, it is your blanket. What do we got back up in here? There's a double rack. I want the bottom rack as long as you don't step on me, man. Marines. Obviously they cut this passage, this hole right here, so you can see inside. These staterooms are huge, man. They're a lot bigger than the ones on Alabama. And, well, obviously the kid. It goes without saying. But still, these things are big. A lot of room up in there. All right, partner. Flag office. The host and admiral and his staff have his own dining, office, and sleeping quarters, and staff in their own office and sleeping spaces. North Carolina rarely had an admiral on board, so 5 officers about radar gang. Supply office. Offices. We'll go up in a minute. Clipping room for 20 mics. Does it work? No. No, it's because it's not plugged in. Oh, wait a minute. Here, the head.
Black box. Great or great.
The engineering officer, chief engineer is here. This is his quarters. This wouldn't have been too bad. Get some ventilation through here. So my son had a deep desire. He wanted to go see the engine room, as did I. But we had to divert from our path to go down to the engine room. He desperately wanted to see it. He's very interested in all things mechanical, and really likes, you know, the whole engineering aspect of things. So he was really into this. Ain't nothing made in China here, brother. Like I might make a crappy stove, but they make a hell of a set of gauges for a battle wagon. Hey dude, go right. Right, your other right, fool. Ooh, tight fit. Well, we ain't getting through there. Well, we could. But we'll run into those same damn people. No. Good God. Production gear. Turbine. Jeez Louise. All right, we've exited from interior spaces. We are now outside, top side. There's our school door. Here we are on the starboard side. One of them. I don't know which one, frankly, at this point. Starboard side, 5-inch 38. Actually, it feels pretty good in here. What you think, dude? What you think?
It's cool.
Good stuff. E for efficiency. Alright, here we are up another deck. This is the after superstructure, which unfortunately we can't get into, only on a special tour, which we have already decided that we will definitely be back to do. But yeah, this is the after superstructure. Here's our funnels. There's what's left of our boat crane right there. After tower of the two big ass funnels. This thing is in fantastic condition. I said it multiple times, but I'll say it again. Here's one of our motor wheelboats. Which they're painting currently. So hey, you know what? You see this? So you see that big brace? That was done because when the ship was built, it had like a wicked vibration at high speeds, and it would actually vibrate the main battery spot for the nav gun. So they had to put those braces in there to keep the thing steady. At least that's what I read. I may be full of crap, but that's what I read. There would have been a 20 there. Wanna go up here? Let's go back this way. Secondary directors. And a 40. Contrary to popular belief, her paint is not white, it is light gray. 5L is the proper Navy color.
I think this is just for the camouflage part.
Huh? Ocean gray and navy blue. Yeah, see, there's one of the crane, or what's left of the cranes. Signal flags. Here, dude. Flag plot. Flag plot. Flag. Oh. You come in. You got room, Sully.
What then?
You can come in, bud.
Not really.
Yeah, you can. Come on.
Bridge.
No.
Where's the bridge?
This is basically the fighting tower. This is where, if she was to get into the scrape, which she obviously did several times, this is where you would, where they would communicate from. Fire control tower. Another aspect that I thought was really, really cool, and again, it's hard not to think it's really cool, is of course the CIC, the Combat Information Center. It was very well done. Everything is in there, and it looks fantastic. Unfortunately, you couldn't get inside. They wouldn't let you inside. I would have liked to have gone inside and kind of poked around, but I understand why. You know, working in museums for 20 years myself, I know that if you let the general public in places, usually they screw things up. So I understand why they don't let people in there. What the hell is that? Battle station. In this steel enclosed lookout, signalmen worked during battles. They safely watched for signals from other ships through the battle slats and hoisted their signals from inside this enclosure. Cleats or hooks were used to secure the line. The signalmen could nap in the berths inside the passageway during the 911 call. Very cool. We avoided the traffic. All right, you want to go on the bridge? Bridge it is.
Well, they both did now. It seemed like it's inside.
That's a view. Said that's a view.
Bridge.
Roscoe's renovated, Joe. You really think it was just 8 years ago?
God, people are stupid.
bones and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish these were the Titanic movie.
Chart house. Captain's sea cabin.
O, ten co? No, czyli stary.
Jest maszyna wypisana.
Ale mogą ściśnić.
Teraz nie możesz.
A możemy iść do domu.
Nie możesz.
No to możesz.
Chodźmy.
Mama.
Chart house. Navigators. Of course. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the captain's wardrobe. Is this the brig? No, it is not. This officer's country. This is just locked up. Oh, the exec. This is the exec's cabin in his office. Executive officer, the XO. Well, no, this is his office. This isn't his cabin. I don't know where his cabin would be. It can't be far.
Star Shell.
Star Shell. Upper handling room with a 5-inch guns. Rounds come out of that tube right there, and then they go up to the mount right above us. And then away they go. Hold on. Here we go. Freaking beautiful ship. Absolutely gorgeous. I've wanted to come here for years. Never had the opportunity. Was never in the area. Wanted to bring my son. You enjoy it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well worth the visit. Beautiful ship. Alright, here's the stern of the Showboat. Said it earlier, I'll say it again. I probably said it about 30 times in this video. I don't care. Make it 31. This thing is gorgeous. I've been aboard a lot of museum ships, and this is, the rumors were that this was the best preserved museum ship in the country. I have to 100% concur with that rumor, and it ain't a rumor, it is a fact. This thing is gorgeous. Come see her.
It never ceases to amaze you to see the just sheer size of these things and the utter power. It's no secret I'm a battleship fanboy, but goodness gracious, look at that.
So again, guys, if you get the opportunity, go see the Showboat, go see USS North Carolina in Wilmington, North Carolina. It is well worth your time. She is gorgeous. I hope you did enjoy this little virtual tour. I hope you also didn't get motion sickness from my piss poor camera operating, but hopefully you'll get a good idea of what you're looking at when you're looking at this video if you choose to view it. And for a better tour of the ship, I sound like a broken record, but go see her. Go see her, because museum ships like her, like the Alabama, the New Jersey, whatever, wherever you go, Yorktown, they all depend. The upkeep of these ships is tremendously expensive, and it's very, very time consuming, labor intensive, and just it's difficult to do. I mean, they're 80-year-old plus year old ships that are, made of steel that sit in water for the most part, and they rust. And it's kind of like painting a bridge. When you start working on one side and you finish, you got to turn around and start over again on maintenance on these things. It's incredibly difficult, and they're able to maintain and preserve these vessels by ticket sales, by people going aboard the ships. So if you ever have the opportunity to go aboard any of them, not just North Carolina, but any museum ship in this United States, please do so, because every time you pay for a ticket to go aboard that ship, you're helping to preserve this part of history. So do so, and you will not be disappointed. I've been aboard dozens of them across this country, and I've never been aboard one and walked off and said, I wish I hadn't done that. Every one is incredibly cool and unique, and highly encourage you to do so. So again, thank you very much to the crew aboard USS North Carolina. You guys are fantastic. All the volunteers, you guys are doing great work. So thanks for letting me aboard and my son aboard, and thanks for taking good care of that old gal. And hope you guys like this little virtual tour, and we will see you for our regular episode next week.